Okay, we are back for a 5-minute Bible study. Today we're continuing in the Beatitudes. If miracles happen, we will finish. But I figured I would just go verse by verse so that I don't read too far ahead and then I can't cover it. And so if you haven't watched my other ones, I'm just trying to understand it. So I'm just Googling some of the words to see other translations so that I can fuller understand what the verses are saying. So the next one is verse 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. So other words for merciful, I realize everybody might know this, but it just helps me think better. Merciful can be forgiving, compassionate, gracious, lenient, pitying, humane, which I thought was a funny word, because it's not really the human thing to do. It should be like godane. Soft-hearted, kind, patient, to be spared, pardoned, let off. So, and the opposite of mercy is ruthlessness or cruelty. So if you're not ruthless and you're not cruel, and in fact you are compassionate and gracious and lenient and kind and patient, and you spare people, you pardon people, you let people off the hook, if you do those things, God will treat you with compassion, with grace, being lenient, pitying, being kind, sparing you, pardoning you, and letting you off. So you give one, you'll get it in return, and you're not just getting it from some imperfect human. You're getting all those things from the perfect God who doesn't know how to operate any different than any of those words that we were saying. And then verse 8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. So pure in heart, good-hearted, even-tempered, friendly, gracious, sympathetic, tender, kind, humane, godane, compassionate. So if you're those things, they will see God. And when I wrote this down, when I was thinking about it, I initially wrote, they will see God. Okay, that means in heaven. And then I stopped and went, wait a minute. Does it mean they will see God in heaven? Or does it also mean that they will see God here in their time on earth? Will they see God in life, in prayer, in comfort, in contentment, in peace? Are those little glimpses of God because you're doing all these other things that He's asking you to do? Is that how we can see God? Or will we see it in other people's reactions, or their gratitude, or their love, after experiencing the pureness that we let come out from our heart? They experienced God through us, and by people's reactions. Is that how we'll see God? Is it deeper than just seeing God in heaven? I think so. That sounds much more like a God thing to do than having to wait it out, because He's here on the earth everywhere. So I just think that if you're acting from a pure heart, you're going to see more of God in the world. And then the next one was, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Peacemakers. Mediator, go-between, middleman, moderator, intercessor, pacifier, umpire, referee, judge, contentious objector, and they will be called sons of God. And what I thought here was, if you become a mediator for God, if you become a go-between, a middleman, a moderator, an intercessor, if you are going between people and God and trying to bring peace, which means loving God, and you are trying to work that, you must be doing that from a pure heart that is like God, which means you are a son of God, because you only become a son of God if you accept Him in your life and you love Him. And so if you are a peacemaker because you're trying to love God, you are a son of God. So if you are acting these things out for God's glory, it's because it's coming from a heart of love for God, which means that's all you need to do to be a son of God. And so long as you're doing these things, that means you love God, and that means you're a child of God. And then, blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Persecuted, oppressed, abused, mistreated, punished, tyrannized, torment, torture, martyr, intimidated, harassed, bullied, because of righteousness. And yesterday I said righteousness was goodness, virtue, uprightness, integrity, worthiness, decency, morality, purity, honesty. This doesn't even line up. Why would somebody abuse you and oppress you and harass you and bully you for righteousness, where you're being good and virtuous and moral and decent? Why would they persecute you? But it says that if you are, theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Heaven will be your home forever, and God will be with you all the time there, and he will be there with you with nothing but love. And I wrote here, why would one be persecuted for doing all those things? They are nice and loving. It must mean that you are nicely and lovingly standing for someone or something. And I think that's the thing, is people are willing to accept kindness and goodness and righteousness so long as it is in the category of their agenda. But if you're loving in the category of God's agenda, a lot of people don't like that agenda. So there's going to be a lot of hate because of what you're choosing to be righteous about. Truly righteous. Anyways, we got through it all.